So I think I remember the end of last year, I had asked you kind of just off the record, like, hey, do you have anybody coming in? And you said you had one guy who you were pretty excited about. You didn't name names, but that was John, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just what is it about him that you were really excited to land him?
Well, he's a local kid that is just talented. He's he's a high energy guy. He can score inside. He can shoot the three. He's really good one-on-one in there. He's just all around really good guy too. So he's someone that you enjoy coaching. You enjoy having in your program.
With the makeup of this team, you got you got your half of returners, and then you got the half of newcomers. So, how much of this year is leaning on those returners? Derek and Momo, guys like that. How much is it leaning on those guys to kind of lead the way, and how much of it is, hey, these returners or these newcomers can play. Like, let's see what they got.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you put together a team on the court, there has to be a certain amount of cohesion, and obviously Derek's been through a lot of games, and Momo's had a really good year last year, and have him coming back. It's really nice. Tyler the same way, and then when you add some new guys, you're just trying to help in as many areas as you possibly can, and obviously John is talented in a lot of ways. Travis is talented in a lot of ways. Gary's given us a big lifts. So hopefully we can get them all together and get them all playing together really well, and kind of change some of the outcomes that we've been receiving lately.
Yeah, kind of on that too. I mean, your record's probably not what you expected it to be or want it to be at this point in the year, but just what's the fix? What's the solution to right the ship here, before it's too late?
Well, the biggest thing for us is the turnovers, and then just simply making shots. If we looked even at last year, we turned it over a bunch early in the year, and we weren't making shots, and then we kind of flipped that script a little bit, and then we started seeing success, and going 5-1 down the stretch. And sometimes we make basketball really complicated, but if you can't put in the hole at a very good clip, it's going to make things really difficult. And then if you give it away to the opponents at a pretty good clip, that makes things even worse. So, hopefully we can fix those two things. It's not an easy fix, but hopefully we can figure out a way to get that done.
Yeah, Mike, you talked about some of the stuff about John that you really liked and why you wanted to bring him in here. What's some of that stuff? I'm sure it's similar stuff, but what's some of the stuff that you've really liked from him so far this year? What has he kind of brought to you guys?
Well, he gives us some toughness inside. He started out the year really well, scoring easily a lot of times. Hasn't seen as much success the last few games, but I think he'll get that back again. He has to get a few more touches than what he's been getting as well. He had some foul trouble in some games too that may have limited him a little bit, some silly fouls. But no, he's a big guy that I think everybody in the league would want to have. He's a joy to coach, and a lot of his best years are ahead of him as well.
Yeah, and you also touched on the fact that he's a local kid. It's nice when you can kind of get someone at least kind of close by. How important is it every once in a while to get a kid like that that's local?
Well, it's in northern Minnesota. There's not a lot of D2 basketball players, to be honest with you. There's just not that many. When you find one, you want to be able to get him onto your roster to have that little bit of a local feel. Anytime you can get your community involved, where they can recognize a name and get into the gym to watch and support them. That's a good for everybody involved. And I think Bemidji has some other players coming up that we'll be looking at as well, and hopefully we can continue to have a local flavor within our program.